Welcome to the WTR On the Horizon podcast. I'm your host, Tim Gerdeman, Vice Chair and Co-founder and Chief Marketing Officer of Water Tower Research. Today, we are joined by Harrison Gross, CEO of Innovative Eyewear, NASDAQ ticker symbol LUCY. Also joining is my WTR Equity Research colleague, James Kisner. Innovative Eyewear develops and sells cutting-edge smart eyewear, including prescription glasses, sunglasses, safety glasses, and sport glasses. Very interestingly, the company introduced the world's first smart glasses powered with ChatGPT. Good morning, and thanks for joining.
Morning.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, as this is not your first podcast with WTR, we're familiarized with your company. However, for those listeners today who are new to the story, can you please provide them with a high-level overview of Innovative Eyewear's business model and investment thesis to kick things off?
Sure. Our mission is to upgrade the world's eyewear by adding useful technology features to comfortable prescription-ready glasses. We shipped the world's first prescription smart glass back in 2018, and since then we made it our mission to make the category of smart glasses more accessible, enjoyable, and useful for the average consumer. We don't make niche products. We really make mass market smart eyewear that's designed to disrupt the traditional optical industry and bring powerful new AI features to the glasses that we wear every day in the styles and shapes and sizes that the glasses wearing population is already accustomed to.
Excellent. Well, I'm excited to hear more about the story here in a moment. James will be asking a few questions, but there's barely a week that goes by that I've not been hearing about smart eyewear in recent weeks in the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg. So it's definitely a very timely topic. James?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. And thanks again, Harrison, for coming. Can you drill down a little more into the technology and kind of the core intellectual property that your company has and what may give you a competitive moat?
Yeah, absolutely. So to start off, before you even get into the IP, smart glasses are very difficult to make at a very high level. You need a cross-disciplinary team that combines optical engineering experience, audio engineering, AI engineering, all these different things come together to make a great pair of smart glasses. So I think that's like the sort of the first rung of our moat is that we have this very unique cross-disciplinary team that we've assembled over the last 6, 7 years that alone gives us something of a competitive advantage. We have professionals that used to work on Bose products, professionals that worked on Luxottica products, all coming together to make Lucid Eyewear. In addition to that, we have developed a patent portfolio consists of about 110 patents and applications. About 70 of those were developed by my team, and about 40 that we licensed from other intellectual property holding entities in the smart glass space. So a combination of our sort of unique capabilities in developing smart glasses at sort of global level. This has been developed over the last 7 years or so. My team has just been completely focused and consumed by smart glass R&D. And then that combined with this, pretty large intellectual property portfolio that we've developed for a young company, that gives us, I would say, some protection in the space. That said, Bluetooth smart glasses, which are our core product category, is something of a known art, and we have freedom to operate in that space, so do other people. But where our sort of intellectual property really comes in is that level of detail that brings our product to the next level, where it's not just another smart glass that's produced by, let's say, a regular eyewear company or an audio company, but we make smart glasses that are produced by this dedicated team that just makes smart glasses, and that results in this sort of higher level of the product, which is just a higher level of performance overall. And that's a result of our IP and the unique know-how that we built up in the company.
Oh, thanks for that. Let's talk about just recent financial results. In January, you pre-announced preliminary full year results, and you disclosed 65% year-on-year growth for 25. Can you talk a bit about what products, applications, or partnerships are driving that?
Yeah, so the first thing driving that, I would say, is just a growing awareness of smart glasses overall. There's a really interesting statistic that came out recently that in 2024, only about 4% of online adults had ever even tried a smart glass product. And in 2025, that number rose to 17%. So we're still at about this point where only about 1 in 5 active online adults have tried smart glasses. So we're still seeing a ton of upside potential in this category, a ton of growth to come. So I think that, yeah, largely what has been driving it is increasing consumer awareness of the product category. And now people know that they can get glasses that do more than just correct their and protect their vision, but allow them to connect to AI, connect to each other, and access their apps hands-free. Um, Particularly when it comes to our growth in 2025, a lot of it is attributed to our smart safety glass product lines called Lucid Armour. Here's one of them. And it's a very stylish, sporty looking safety glass, which has a lot of flexibility in terms of how it can be worn. So because it looks sort of like a regular sunglass, people wear it at work, but they also wear it in their leisure time as their main sunglasses. So that flexibility has brought a lot of attention to this product. It's also pretty unique on the market. As far as we know, it's the only ANSI certified smart safety glasses. So it's actually usable in a workplace that requires safety eyewear. So this product has been sort of our dark horse winner out of the gate, and it's become our most popular product since we launched it in October 2024.
Okay, great. So, kind of relatedly here, as you look back on the past year, what do you think are the two or three most significant milestones that your company has accomplished over the past year?
Well, yeah, I'd say that, that sales growth is one of them because it's very difficult to sell millions of dollars of smart glasses. This is a very challenging space. We're really having to educate consumers as we sell to them. So I think that we've really improved our go-to-market, both on the e-commerce, and we've really professionalized our B2B side. And we're developing this new like white label business unit where we're going to create custom smart glasses for major retailers. And for companies that want to outfit their workforce with it. Other than that, we also launched our Reebok smart glasses in April of 2025. This was our first brand collab with Reebok, and our first smart glasses really designed for athletic use. Here's one of the models here. And it really does look like those wrap sunglasses that runners and cyclists like to wear every day. And now they have safer open ear audio built into those glasses. So it's a really great product for anyone that sort of enjoys athletic outdoor activities. So that was another major launch. We had that in the middle of last year. And but perhaps most important, we completed a lot of principal R&D on two upcoming collections we have. We're launching two new platforms this year. One is a new kind of all-around optical smart glass. I'm wearing it right now. It's our lightest and thinnest frame when it comes to just kind of all-day optical wear and use. And then we have another platform coming out later this year that's really designed just for voice AI. It's extremely lightweight and thin. So we made a lot of progress on the product side, in addition to our go-to-market.
Great. How you guys have gotten a lot done. So Mark Zuckerberg, may have heard of him, said on his earnings call on January 28th, just less a couple weeks ago, it's hard to imagine a world in several years where most glasses that people wear aren't AI glasses. And Google and Apple have both reportedly, they're getting into the space more aggressively too. Just it really seems like smart glasses are kind of inflecting. I'm just kind of wondering if you had thoughts as to why that may be.
Well, it's interesting because when we started, we really saw our product as both an audio device and a vision device in one. But the focus was really on these like Bluetooth audio features and the ability to listen to music and podcasts, take your phone calls, and use apps through Siri and Google Voice. But what changed uh, basically was the emergence of voice-based AI as this sort of new computing paradigm, right? About 3 years ago. So with the rise of ChatGPT and now Gemini and Claude, voice-based AI interactions kind of emerged as the killer app for smart glasses. And now smart glasses were seen not just as sort of an evolutionary step forward in eyeglasses, which is how we've always seen it, but are now being seen also as an on-ramp into these AI platforms, and one that is at the ready at all times when you have it on. That's something that's very different from your phone or even a watch. When you're wearing glasses, they're on your face, they're ready to be interacted with at any moment in time using voice commands. So this sort of flexibility and the sort of omnipresence of glasses once you have them on makes them very well suited to be an interface for all these new emerging voice AI platforms, which in our view is going to be the future of mobile computing and maybe computing overall will be these voice-based AI platforms. So That's kind of what changed, I would say, and that's what's accelerating adoption of smart eyewear, and it's now being marketed left and right as an AI on-ramp device, which I think is correct in a lot of ways. Um, but and then where it comes to like this idea that it's hard to imagine people wearing dumb glasses in the future when smart glasses are going to be so powerful. I think that's correct because you're essentially we're not asking the user to adopt a new modality or to have sort of a major change in the paradigm of the devices that they use. If you already wear glasses, this is a very natural upgrade for you. We're just asking you to select the smart option when you get your next pair of glasses instead of adopt something completely new, like start wearing a watch or a neural wristband or some other device that people aren't already familiar with. So that, in a way, I think is kind of the power of smart glasses. It's this like universally accepted form factor that's already being worn by a billion people. So it's a lot easier to sort of to channel that omnipresence of glasses that's already there into this new computing paradigm that we're seeing with the emergence of voice-based AI. So it's all kind of part of this tapestry of AI that's coming, and um, and that's not something that was immediately obvious to even those of us that were working very close with smart glasses, 3, 4 years ago, that it was all going to be about AI. But that's kind of where we are today, and now we see a pair of glasses as your sort of remote control for all these other devices, all these other functionalities that we want to do in the world of smart technology can all be controlled by our glasses ultimately.
Okay, that's great. So, just really briefly with respect to Meta specifically, since they've got made a lot of noise here, can you talk about how you may be different from them, and if you have a strategy for competing with them specifically?
Well, on the hardware side, our hardware is more sophisticated in a way. Even though it's not as loaded with as many features, it is more wearable. Our products, they have longer battery life, they weigh less, they're more comfortable for all day prescription wear. And these are really important things when it comes to like the ergonomics of glasses and the ability to wear them all day long, which cannot really be compromised. Because as soon as you start compromising on that, you end up with Vision Pro and you end up with these kind of bulkier products that just don't suit the needs of the mass market and end up kind of, in these niche lanes. I see camera glasses in general, which is kind of what Meta has decided to focus on for now. I see them as an intermediary step between sort of audio glasses of today and the AR glasses of tomorrow. And then I really see them ultimately as being something of a niche product for content creators and for low vision people. So this is where the camera glasses really do shine. They're really good at capturing video and they're good at helping blind people navigate. So this is part of like a larger thing that's happening where we're going to see a hugely diverse smart glass field with all these different types of smart glasses that suit different user needs and help address different user deficiencies. And this is where like kind of smart glasses and medical device really comes in. And there's just like Luxottica just came out with this hearing aid glasses that just got FDA approved, first one. So it's your first hearing aid in a pair of glasses. And that's also like a niche to people that have hearing loss. But it's an example of how smart glasses are kind of becoming this diversified field that are going to address all of these different user needs. So, in my view, Meta is going to continue delivering glasses to people that want to create content on Meta platforms, and that's fine. We're going to continue delivering glasses to basically everyone that just wants vision correction and access to AI. And that's kind of how we're going to see the smart glass space shake out, I think, in a lot of ways is, companies are going to pick these different lanes that they want to play in and they're going to focus on them. And that's kind of how it has to be because smart glasses are so specialized. But yeah, in general, I think our product is more suited to the average consumer who's looking for new AI features in their glasses, the ability to listen to music and take calls hands-free. And we're doing that at a price point that matches regular eyewear. But if you're a content creator and you want to take, dozens of videos a day and post them on your Instagram, then the Meta glasses are going to be better for you. So it all depends on kind of what uses you're looking to get out of the product.
Great. So, as you look into 26 and beyond, like what are you most focused on in terms of driving growth? And is it more innovation? Is it partnerships, marketing investments, expanding distribution, or something else I haven't listed?
I think it's all about retail distribution right now for us. We've largely completed our principal R&D. We're continuing to make incremental improvements to the product every year. But now we're at a point where the consumers love our products. When they try them on, they like them, they adopt them, they switch from regular glasses to our product every day. And now thousands and thousands of people around the world are wearing Lucid Eyewear instead of regular glasses. So I think it's all about getting people the chance to try the product. It's still Smart glasses are a little bit nebulous. It's hard for people to understand exactly what it's like to use different smart glass products just off of a web page or off of an influencer video. There's really no substitute for an in-person demo when it comes to this product category. And that's why we're trying to partner with everyone from cell phone shops to traditional eyewear companies to put these products in front of consumers, let them try it, and let them put it in their prescription if they need it. So that's really the main focus right now. We're in talks with a number of big box retailers, a number of major hardware retailers as well for the safety glasses, getting these products out on the shelves and in front of consumers, starting in the US and Canada and then moving out from there. So we've been going to a lot of trade shows all over the world, both in the eyewear and in the tech space, and really trying to get the message out about our product. But yeah, it's all about getting these major retailers to put it in. That's what I see as like the kind of missing piece of our business right now.
That's helpful. Time for a couple more here. So, not a fun topic, but tariffs, been a pain point for a lot of companies, and I think this is something you've been talking about in the past as well. Could you give a little update on just how you're navigating that, that aspect of the business environment?
So obviously, it was a bit of a roller coaster last year with that, and the rates going up, coming down, going up, coming down. It was hard to plan. Where things ended up actually, uh, right now, it ended up in a pretty favorable spot for smart eyewear, which is really ironic. Smart eyewear is actually a lower tariff rate than regular glasses. So this actually helped eliminate some of the pricing edge that regular eyewear had over smart glasses and kind of bring the two closer together in price, which is really interesting. Regular eyewear is still around a 40 to 50% tariff, whereas smart glasses are 17%. So, this is because of some carve outs that were made at the behest of Apple and maybe other major tech companies to because smart glasses are imported as a Bluetooth audio device, not as eyeglasses essentially. So we got a little bit lucky, I would say, but we didn't kind of rest on our laurels. In response to the tariff situation, we built a global fulfillment network. We now store product and dispatch it from the Netherlands, from Canada, and from Hong Kong. So we have several different warehouses outside the U.S. and we're able to basically do business outside the U.S. a lot more easily as a result of that. And obviously, any major partnerships we have outside the U.S. are not subject to U.S. tariffs. So a big part of it has kind of turned our lens away, pun intended, from building a business in the B2B business in the U.S. as much, and we're starting to really focus on building the business in Europe and Asia, and Latin America. So some of our resources have been kind of spread out over the world, and we're kind of doing more of a global sales effort now than we were in the past, where it was all about the U.S. and Canada. So I would say that's been the major result for our business. We built this global fulfillment network and we've tried to like kind of globalize our sales effort in general. And that's actually yielded a lot of really positive returns. We just went to the big eyewear trade show in Italy, and we only started doing that, after the tariff stuff, started going down, and we got like a really significant list of leads from that show. And we're able to work with them at really great price points because those products are never going to be subject to U.S. tariffs. Um, at the same time, we also looked into our alternatives for manufacturing smart glasses outside of China. The options are really limited for doing so, but there are some significant alternatives in Taiwan and Vietnam. We're now aware of those alternative channels if we need them in the future. But for now, we're continuing to manufacture our products in China. Um, so yeah, so I think this is much more of a problem still for traditional eyewear companies because they're still paying these really exorbitant tariffs. Smart glasses have been kind of lucky in that we're only paying essentially an 8% higher effective rate than we were before Trump took over. So all in all, it's calmed down a lot on that front this year, and we're able to focus more on building our business instead of navigating those waters.
That sounds good. So, final question to wrap up. Just as we, if we were to reconnect in a year, Like, what kind of achievements or set of metrics or milestones would you encourage investors to look at to kind of show that you're making progress in the story?
Well, I think it's really doors. These getting these retail doors going. That's really, that's our number one focus right now, and where we want to really see progress over the next year. Everything's about go to market for us now, getting these products in front of consumers because we know once they try it, they like it, they buy it, they want it. So it's just a matter of closing that distance between our product and the consumer right now. And we're going to do that through these brick and mortar rollouts in a couple major retailers over the next year. God willing. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
That's great, Harrison. Well, thanks for that. I'm going to pass it back to our host, Tim Gerdeman, for closing comments.
Thanks, James. Harrison, I was just kind of laughing myself, actually, thinking about this discussion. So I hear hundreds and hundreds of investment themes per year, but every once in a while, and today happens to be one of those, it makes my imagination absolutely run, thinking about how the product or service could not only change my life, but the lives of millions and millions of consumers around the world. And this is one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. I think essentially Zuck is right here. In the future, most people are going to be wearing smart eyewear if they're wearing glasses. I think that's absolutely correct because it delivers more value, more functionality in the same package. So it makes a lot of sense for people to make the switch.
Well, best wishes for the continued commercialization in 2026. And thanks, Harrison and James, for joining me today.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and do not forget to subscribe, as well as visiting www.watertowerresearch.com to stay up to speed on the WTR on the Horizon written research reports, podcasts, fireside chats, industry-specific symposiums, and conference schedules. We will see you next time for another edition of WTR on the Horizon podcast. Finally, a special thanks to the producer and editor of the podcast, Krista Fitzpatrick.